Matt, what is the craziest atmosphere that you've ever played in?
I think I probably have to go to Greece. Greece or Turkey. I found those atmospheres just...
We were Turkey.
Amazing.
Yours is the famous
Amazing.
one.
Yeah.
And I remember going to PAOK Salonika with Arsenal in Europe very early on, in the Champions League, I think it was, and it was probably my second season at the club, or I was 19, 18, and I was warming up. And first of all, we went out. We got there an hour and a half before kick-off. It's like deathly silent. And I remember Ian Wright going down the steps, walking out onto the pitch, and all of a sudden, this noise just came out of nowhere, and their end was nearly full. And flares were going off. They were jumping up and down on each other's shoulders. It was like we just come out. You know, you go out to look at the pitch and there's no one there. Yeah. It's an hour and 15 before kick-off, full. And I thought, oh, this could get a bit tasty. Like this looks a bit lively. So we went back in, came back out for the warm-up, and it was, you know, a big tunnel came down along the walkway from the steps that go down and then came up. And I thought, why is that there? Well, you knew why there was a metal tunnel there. All you could hear was ting, 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 ting. The whole time there was objects
being thrown,
just pelting off the top of this tunnel. Jeez, like, and it didn't sound like small things either. Some of them. and I was warming up along the side, and I was down by stupidly, I got too close to the stand, inexperience, and I was stretching by the corner flag, and I felt something brush the side of my head. I looked down the floor, and it was like a big battery.
Jeez.
And it just glanced. I felt the air off it go flying past me. And I remember looking down thinking, oh, if that hit me, I think I'd have been in trouble. And you kind of wander back into the middle of the pitch and think, well, I need to just keep warm up in the centre here. That was what it was like. And that atmosphere was unbelievable. You've really felt like this is more than a football match here. And I can't remember. I don't know. I think we might have got beat.
I was about to ask, what was the result?
I think we got beaten. It's either 1-1 or we got beat 1-0. Either way, in terms of quality, we were miles ahead. We were without Dennis Bergkamp because I think we were too far in terms of for him to travel because we flew out there. But I think we might have just scraped away with a point and just literally got out. But it was a really hostile atmosphere. That's probably the most intimidating environment I've ever been to play a football match.
Because I know the ever famous one, I mean, when you got the police going up against you, that's questionable.
Oh, Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was... You turn up at the air, you get off the plane and come out the airport, and there's like 1,500 fans with "Welcome to Hell, you're all going to die." The bus got stoned coming out the hotel. We stayed on the river, and there's boats going up and down the river, playing music and sounding foghorns all night, so you can't sleep. And the bus is getting bricked and shaken when you go into the ground and turn up at the ground. There's armed police with shields and
truncheons and all that.
And they're sort of giving you a dig, but actually trying to protect you. And then we similar sort of thing. We walked out 2 hours before it was. We walked out before the game.
And they're there.
And at Galatasaray, I don't know whether it still happens, but they don't use the main fans don't go behind the goals. They use the sides of the pitch. And we walked out, and both sides were packed. And it was quiet when we walked out, and then all of a sudden we came out, and this roar went up. And this side of the stadium was silent, while this side of the stadium sang at that side. And it was like da 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 da, and this one went da 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 da. And it was like da 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 da, and we're like, Jesus, what is going on here? It was unbelievable. And then obviously bricked at the end of the game. Coach bricked again at the end of the game. It was so intense. It was incredible.
Because even when you're being led back down, the police are supposed to protect you, but they didn't exactly protect you.
There was a few of the lads getting sort of a bit of abuse off the police. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Can you imagine that?
Like armed police with like the helmets on and the visors and the big
shields and
truncheons, and they're sort of giving you a dig as you're walking down. And
that's crazy. It's fresh in my head because I told you I was reading Schmeichel's book and he talks about it. And Cantona squaring off against.
Yeah, Cantona was
against the police. I mean,
But those games, you talk about keeping your cool, and we're talking about derbies. They're the games, because all of that is literally there to level the game. Because you're turning up, you're a better team
Oh God, yeah.
than what they were. Arsenal turned up at that. We were a better team than them, but they're trying to level the playing field. And clubs do it in various different ways. You know, leave the grass long on the pitch.
That's the other thing.
Turn
yeah,
the heat up in the dressing room, or whatever all these things are that you've experienced over the years.
Yeah.
But that one there in particular, that's just there designed to get a Cantona, a player to literally just get sent off
Yeah, it is.
and try and balance the game out. And that's the role that the crowd know they can play.